Spanish 1, Test 10. It is 42 questions. The first part is questions 1 through 20. So part 1, 1 through 20, and it's verbs. So it's same old, same old. I'm giving you a blank, a subject pronoun, and a verb, and you have to conjugate it. It says, conjugate the following verbs in the preterite tense based on the subject given. So, we've talked about AR, ER, IR verbs, and then we've had some irregular verbs. So AR endings for preterite are haste, amos, and aron. ER verb, ER, IR are iste, io, imos, and ieron. Okay. Those are for regular verbs like hablar, comer, beber, vivir. And then we have had the irregular ser, ir, dar, ver, leer. Okay. So I'm going to let you look in your notes and figure out how to conjugate those in the preterite. Let me make sure that we had cargar, zar verbs. Yeah. So this is going to be kind of what's on your test. Regular AR, ER, IR, ser, ir, dar, ver, leer, oír, and cargar, zar verbs. And you're conjugating them in the preterite tense, so one of the past tenses. Part 2 is 21 to 25. And that is acabar de, which means to just have finished something. So the directions say use acabar de to indicate that each person or persons has just finished the activity, which is, in this case, the verb. So you're going to have something like, this is questions 21 to 25. And then you're going to have something like, cocinar la cena. So you're going to use acabar de with this subject and this verb to indicate that she has just finished cooking dinner. So we start with ella, which is our subject, and then we conjugate acabar de for ella. So it would be acaba de, and then because this is kind of a formula, it's an expression, we say acaba de cocinar la cena. And that's it. So really all you have to do for this section is find the subject and then conjugate acabar for the subject and then kind of plug in the rest. So this does not get conjugated because you remember the formula or the expression is acabar de plus infinitive. And this is the activity in this case. So the verb or the infinitive is the activity. Okay? So that should be pretty simple. Section 3 is vocabulary. Oops. 26 to 30. And this is going to be Spanish to English. And then section 4 is 31 to 35. And that is English to Spanish. And this is vocabulary from chapter 10, same old. One thing you guys are still struggling with is if there's an article in front of the word, some of you are still not translating that. So if you had something like la estampilla, you have to say the stamp, not just stamp, because you have to tell me what each word means. So, because the directions say words or phrases. So, la estampilla is 2 words. You can't just leave off one of the words. So, you have to be translating the whole thing. Also, verbs, remember that if it's an infinitive, you have to include 2 blank, 2 definition, 2 verb. Because that's what the infinitive means. Like if you translated it, that's what it means. Section 5 is 36 to 42, and that's translations. Okay, so one of the things that we dealt with in this chapter were the demonstrative pronouns. So like if I said, do you like this marker? And you said, yes, I like that one. That one is taking the place of marker. So that makes it a pronoun. So you may want to go back and review in your textbook and in your notes the concept of demonstrative pronouns versus demonstrative adjectives. So your translations are going to be over preterite and the demonstrative pronouns. So you may have something like, we bought those. Feminine. Okay? All right. So we is nosotros. Bought is the past tense, in this case the preterite tense, because it's in the past. And then the verb for to buy is comprar. Alright? So if we want to conjugate comprar in the preterite tense, it actually stays compramos. And then those. Remember that this marker, that house, these grapes, those trees over there, those are all demonstrative adjectives because the noun is included. I said these grapes, not just these. So if I have something like these grapes, these is a demonstrative adjective because it's describing grapes. If I just said I have these is a demonstrative pronoun because it's demonstrating which ones, but these has taken the place of that noun, the grapes, okay? So in this case, we don't actually know what those are, but we do know that this is a demonstrative pronoun because the noun is not included, okay? So it doesn't say those trash bags or those basketballs. It's just those. However, I did include what the gender should be. So we already have we bought. This is going to be a demonstrative pronoun because it's taking the place of whatever noun we're talking about, okay? So those would be esas, right? Because that esas means those, and then we add an accent mark to indicate that it's a pronoun. We've made it plural, esas, and feminine, esas, instead of esos, right? So we say compramos esas, and that's all you have to do, okay? You might also have something like they gave me gift. Okay. Ellos dieron. To give, the verb to give is dar. Dar is irregular in the preterite tense, the past tense. And we want to conjugate dar in the preterite for ellos. So we have dieron. And then the gift is el regalo. Okay. So those are the kinds of sentences that are going to be on your test. Let me give you some of the key words and phrases. You've got Brother. Clothes. Restaurant. To wash. To have. To go. To see. Postcard, which I think is on your vocabulary for this chapter. To drink. Right, and milk. Okay, so I think that's everything. Just a heads up though, most of these verbs, like to wash, to have, to go, to see, to drink, to write, these are all in the present tense because they're in the infinitive form. But on your test, most of them are going to need to be conjugated in the past tense. So you're going to need to recognize that like to go would be went, or to drink would be drank, obviously, okay? See would be saw, okay? So yeah, those are the key phrases. You need to understand what they mean in the past tense. Then, as always, you have 3 extra credit questions. Circle C if the statement is cierto or true, and F if it's falso or false. It's just over the cultural stuff from chapter 10. I don't have the page numbers in front of me. It's like Ecuador. I think it's like, there's one about like speaking Spanish. And then I think mostly it's Ecuador and speaking, like where they speak Spanish and stuff. Okay, so that's it. Let me know if you have any questions, and good luck.